Good evening, My Aladdins. Welcome to our My Aladdins members from around the world. Tonight, we have a very special opportunity because we have people joining us from many different countries, and we have four languages available in My Aladdins. So, thanks for joining us tonight. And tonight, we're going to have a very special guest coming a little bit later. Before we bring on the guest, let me share my screen with you. Welcome to Magic Your Life. This weekly wisdom will be an opportunity to give personal insights and wisdom that will give you a little spark of magic to your life, your business, and also to your relationships. Like planting a seed, these hour-long mini talks help you to grow, to thrive, and to blossom for future success. Tonight, we have a special guest coming in a little bit, and next week we'll have another session. We have this session every Thursday. The next session will be on fifth of the fifth session will be on the 15th of October. So that will be coming up. Make sure if you're part of My Aladdin, you go into the e-bazaar and you join the session coming up. We also have a very special guest coming next month. If you joined us last month, you got to hear from Robert Kiyosaki. And next month, we have Nick Vujicic, No Limits. If you've heard of Nick Vujicic before, he has no arms and no legs, but he doesn't allow it to put any limits on what he can do. In fact, life is what you make it. And when you look at Nick and you see that he can do just about anything anyone else can do, you'll be able to go on with life and not worry about any excuses. If he can do it, so can you. And you'll learn about practical advice on living a life of happiness and fulfillment by building trust, developing supportive relationships, and finding strength for each day. He goes skydiving, he swims, he golfs, just about anything you can think of, Nick Vujicic can do. And yet, he was born with no arms and no legs. So he'll give you the desire to move forward in your life, in your relationships, in your business, and realize that there is no excuse, that you can do anything that you put your mind to. That will be coming on November 7th, 2020, and that will be from 2 to 5 p.m. GMT plus 7. You can also register for that free in the e-bazaar. And so that will be coming up. Make sure you join it. We are expecting a very large number of people to attend. We have almost 5,000 guests that can be part of this program. So you'll want to make sure that you sign up and you get everyone you know in My Aladdin to sign up as well. We also have opportunities coming up in My Aladdin for Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within Virtual. Tony Robbins is the #1 personal development coach in the world. And if you've had the opportunity to attend his program, you know that's an incredible 3 or 4 days of training from morning to night that will actually change your life. You'll learn how to get the tools, the psychology, and the strategies that will help you to achieve success in whatever area you want. If you've attended this program before, you know that it's only available in certain countries, usually UK, Australia, and United States. And so if you wanted to attend, you have to travel. But with this special session, it's a virtual online session. So no matter where you are in the world, you can join this session from the comfort of your own home. That's also available for registration in the e-bazaar. And we also have Anthony Robbins' Date with Destiny. It's 6 days live with Tony in the comfort of your own home. It will be in the United States, so it will be on US time. And you can actually join this program and learn about how to create passionate relationships, how to find purpose in life, and how to reshape your life for more success. This is one of his most powerful programs. It's never been offered online before. And so in this, you have an incredible opportunity because of the current virus situation. It's online. And so anyone in the world can attend. You can just join for that in the e-bazaar in the mobile app of My Aladdin. And now we'll take a brief review of what we discussed last week in My Aladdin. Last week we heard from our chairman, Richard Tan, about doing what the rich do that the poor don't. And here's a visual representation of what he discussed last week. And we'll go through and have a quick review because that was a few weeks ago. And we'll have a quick review of what he talked about and also how you can apply it to your life. You might want to take a screenshot of this, and I'll have a screenshot of it at the end as well. So this will give you a quick one-page review of what you have. My Aladdin's Magic Your Life. Doing What the Rich Do That the Poor Don't by Richard Tan. Richard began talking about asking you a question. Would you rather be happy or would you rather be rich? And his response was, why not both? In fact, money will never make you happy if you're an unhappy person. And so Richard shared that if you're a happy person, then you can use money to bring about that happiness. But if you're happy or unhappy does not depend on how much money you have or how rich you are. It only multiplies what you already have. Money will never make you happy if you're an unhappy person. So the first question I'd like you to ask yourself is, how would you rate your happiness on the scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most happy? What number would that be for you? Would it be a 1? You're very unhappy right now. Or would it be a 10? You're the happiest you've ever been. And then when you rate yourself, ask your question, why? Why are you a 1 or a 5 or a 10 or however you rated yourself? What is it that makes you happy? He mentioned 12 different things that rich people do that poor people don't. The first thing that he mentioned was that rich people read a lot. In fact, he said that top CEOs read 50 or more books in a year. That means they read at least one book a week. How many of you read one book a week? And then how much do you read? And how much do you learn? The average person, he said, reads about one book in a year, whereas CEOs are reading 50 books in a year. And there's a difference in the kind of books that they read as well. Most of the ordinary people, the poor people, are reading romance and novels and things that don't reflect on real life, but CEOs are reading to learn. So how much do you read? And are you reading to learn something? What recent book did you read? Think about the last book that you read. What was the most recent book that you read? And if it was something that you could learn from, what was it that you learned? The second thing that rich people do and that poor people don't is that rich people sacrifice the now for the future. They focus on the present and they don't think about the future. Richard said that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. In other words, Even if you're not talented, if you work hard, you can beat someone who's talented but lazy. Are you focused on your comfort or your future financial security? Richard said the hard thing to do is usually the right thing to do. Anything that's meaningful, that gets results, is going to take effort. Do you do the hard things or only the things that are easy? If you want to have an easy life later on, then you need to do the hard things now. Number three, do you take responsibility? The rich believe they are responsible for their own fate. Their future is determined by their choices. You can choose to be rich or you can choose to be poor. Do you take responsibility? Or do you blame other people whenever things are not working out and you're not getting the results that you're supposed to? Do you give excuses when you don't get the results you need? Or do you tell story or justify? I'm just not good at this, and create a story about why you weren't successful. Rich people don't tell stories, they don't blame other people, they don't give excuses. They take responsibility for their own fate. Richard said excuses don't get results. Actions get results. And he said a lot of people have more excuses than money. If you ask yourself that question, do you have excuses or do you have results? Do you have more excuses than money? It's your choice. Choose to be rich or choose to be poor. Take responsibility for your actions. If you're not building your own life, Richard said, someone else will hire you to build theirs. In other words, if you're not working towards your own future, if you're not building the results that you want for your own life, someone's going to hire you to build for their future. What are you building for your own future? You might want to write that down. Just write the question down. Maybe you can answer it later. What are you building for your own future? You're responsible for your own fate. So you have to do something to make it happen. Don't depend on luck, depend on the plan to make it happen. Number four, Richard said, what is your financial goal? The rich set financial goals. So what is your target? What is your financial goal? If you remember, he said, set a target for 1 year. If you want to make $120,000 in the next 1 year, then that means you need to make $10,000 per month. If you look at it from a week perspective, if you want to make 10,000 per month, then you're going to have to make about 2,500 per week. If you want to make 2,500 per week, then you need to make about $800 per day. So how much is it that you need to make? What is your goal? The rich set financial goals. Have you set a financial goal for yourself? And What will you commit to do daily to grow your income? If you're not at that yet, then what is it that you can do in order to reach that goal? How can you grow your income? Richard said there's two things you need to write. The first, you need to write your short-term goal on your bathroom mirror so that every morning when you look in the mirror, you see your short-term goal. I wonder how many of you did that this week. How many of you set a goal and how many of you actually wrote the goal on your mirror? It's not what we learn that gets results. It's what we do that gets results. Did you do it? And then he said you need to write your medium goal on a dollar bill, on a banknote, in your wallet, and keep it in your wallet so that every time you open your wallet, you're reminded of your midterm goal. Did you do those two things? Did you write your short-term goal on your mirror? Did you write your medium goal on a dollar bill? If you didn't do it after Richard mentioned it last time, then make a commitment to do that this week. Number 5, your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. Richard said, the rich sleep less. Maybe you're taking a little nap in the afternoon, or maybe you sleep late in the day and go to bed early at night. You want to get your rest. But your future is created by what you do today. It's very easy to put things off until tomorrow, but you need to focus on doing something today. What did you do today that's going to improve your financial future? The rich sleep less. They work hard today so they don't have to work hard tomorrow. Your future is created by what you do each day. The rich sleep less. What are you putting off that you need to do? Is there something that you know you have to get done in order to achieve success, but you keep putting it off until tomorrow? What are you putting off that you need to do? And when are you going to start doing it? Start today. Take the first steps today. Number 6, the rich have money work for them. Richard said that rich people invest in assets. They invest in income generating assets. They invest in things that put money into their bank account. What income generating assets do you own that are creating passive income for you today? It could be property, it could be commodities, it could be whatever you're interested in. Do you have assets that are growing your wealth, that are putting income into your account? What assets do you have? You might want to make a list. And then what assets can you get? What assets can you acquire that are going to generate passive income for you? Maybe you don't have any yet. It's never too late to get started. What assets can you acquire, can you get to generate passive income? Richard said, rich people buy luxuries last. Poor people buy luxuries first. So here's a question for you. Do you set aside money every single month for assets, for investments, for things that are going to generate income? Or do you wait until the end of the month and use what is left over to get assets? Rich people buy the assets first. They invest in assets first, and then they use what is left. So how much are you already putting aside each month to invest in assets? Are you putting any money aside? Would you like to put more aside? The rich have money work for them. They invest in assets. You need to commit to investing in assets for your own financial future. How much are you already putting aside? But also ask yourself another question. How much will you commit to put aside? Maybe you might want to increase the amount that you're already putting aside. Maybe you're not putting anything aside yet. Now's a good time to start doing so. Number 7, Richard said the rich are not limited by their belief. Whenever they don't know how to do something, it doesn't stop them. They push their limits. They push their boundaries. What is your limitation? What is something that's difficult for you? Do you avoid it or do you try it anyway? Do you push your limits or are you only doing what is easy for you? He said that every time you think you can't do something, somebody else thinks they can, and they will get ahead of you. What is something that you haven't done yet because you think you can't do it? And when will you try to make it happen? Number 8, the rich play the long game. You know, when you look through a telescope, you see far off in the distance. Are you looking at the long term, at the long game? Are you simply living for today? The rich play the long game. What is something that you're working on now in order to gain long-term results? Write it down. What are you working on now in order to get long-term results? Richard said the rich are paid for their results, not their time. If you are getting paid on your results, not just your time, not just what you talk about, but for your actual results, how big would your paycheck be? Would it be small or would it be very large? What do you do that is getting results for you? How can you focus your time more effectively to get even more results? What is something that you need to do less, that you're wasting time? What is something that you need to do more in order to get results? The rich are not paid by the time, but by their results, and they focus on the long game. Number 9, Richard said the rich focus on being healthy. And he said healthy is not the same as skinny. What does health mean to you? What is your ideal healthy lifestyle? Health is not just physical, it's also your mental, it's also your spiritual, it's also your relationships. What does being healthy mean to you? What are you willing to do consistently to pursue a healthy lifestyle? The rich focus on being healthy. Number 10, the rich build relationships. Richard said, the rich build relationships, everyone else looks for a job. If you remember Robert Kiyosaki last week, he said that the rich look at a job as a way to learn. In this case, you're looking at jobs as a way to build relationships. What relationships are you building? What networks are you building? One person said very famously, your net worth is in your network. It's in your relationships. How are you building relationships? Number 11, it's not the rich study other successful people. And remember, Richard told the story about sitting down with Bill Clinton and asking him about the war. It wasn't the right thing to do. And Bill Clinton answered in something that Richard still uses to this day. It's not about making the right decision. It's about making the decision right. And he learned a powerful lesson from Bill Clinton. The rich study other successful people and learn from them. It would be a good idea to list the successful people that you admire and would like to learn from. Who is it that you would like to learn from? Who is someone that's successful? It could be Robert Kiyosaki. It could be Richard Tan. It could be someone that brought you into My Aladdin. It could be your parent. It could be someone who's very famous. Who's a successful person that you admire and that you would like to learn something from? If you can't think of a person, think of it from the other way. What are some things that you would like to learn? Maybe you want to learn how to be an investor. You want to learn how to be a salesman. You want to learn how to be a leader. You want to learn how to be a better father or a better mother or a better parent. What is something that you want to learn? Find someone who has that skill and study them and learn from them. Who could you learn that skill from? The rich study other successful people. And the last one, the rich. Before we get to the last one, are you committed to attending Magic Your Life, Weekly Wisdom? This is a great way to learn from successful people. How many Magic Your Life Weekly Wisdoms are you going to attend? Is it going to be once in a while? Is it going to be all of them? 100%? How many are you committing to join? This is a great way to learn from other successful people. And are you committed to getting your team and your friends and your family to also join? What percentage will you get to commit to join Magic Your Life in the future? It happens every week, and we have a very, very special guest every month as well. Are you committed to studying other successful people, to learn from other successful people? This is an incredible opportunity to do so. And last, number 12, the world is changing. The rich understand that the world is changing. He says the poor always look at the past. Are you looking at the past? Are you looking to the future? In this, I sketched a little chameleon on top of the world because chameleons change. Whenever their environment changes, they also change. The best way to change the world is to change yourself. Are you looking at the past? Are you looking to the future? And Richard asked this question: what are you doing to make the world a better place? That's an incredible question for you. What are you doing to make the world a better place? What is the one thing that you can do this week that will make the world a better place for your friends, for your family, for your colleagues, for your team, maybe for a stranger? What is something you can do this week to make the world a better place? Don't look at the past, but look forward, because the world is always changing. Finally, what big ideas do you have? Richard summarized all 12 points with this statement: if you want to be rich, think big, think differently. It's a quote from Robert Kiyosaki. So if you're going to think big, what big ideas do you have? Are you content with doing the same thing? Are you willing to commit to think differently? What can you do differently to get different results? If you want to get results that are different, you must either do something different or you must do something differently. So let's summarize the 12 points. Doing what the rich do. Number one, are you reading to learn? How much do you read? Number two, work hard for your future. Don't depend on talent, work hard. Number three, take responsibility. Don't blame others. Don't give excuses. Don't justify and tell stories. Take responsibility. Number four, set financial goals. What's your goal for the next 1 year, for the next 1 month, for the next 1 week? Number five, sleep less. Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. Number six, put money to work. Invest in assets. Number seven, push your limits. Don't be limited by your beliefs. Number eight, play the long game. Look towards the long-term future. Don't focus on temporary things or immediate satisfaction. Focus on long-term. Number nine, be healthy. Healthy in your physical, spiritual, your mental, and your social relationships. Number 10, build relationships. Build your network. Number 11, study successful people. And Magic Your Life is one great way to do that. Number 12, make the world a better place. The world is changing. So think big. Think differently. Here's the sketch note again to remind you of those 12 points from Richard's last session. You can take a snapshot of this. And now we'd like to invite our chairman to share with you some more powerful lessons to magic your life. He's the chairman. He's in Singapore. He's a person who received a reward from the Singapore government for the person who rose from the ashes to be very, very successful. He was voted one of the top CEOs in Singapore as well. And he's a friend. He's a very wise man. He's a person that has a lot to share. Let's give a very big welcome to Mr. Richard Tan.
Hello, 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 everybody. Hi. Time flies, and this is our fifth uh, Magic Your Life series. And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining in. Yeah. So today we have many people from many different parts of the world. I would say good evening, good afternoon, depend on which city do you come from. I'm in Singapore, so greeting from Singapore, greeting from Singapore. Well, time really flies, and now we are in, I don't know, 5 months of pandemic, and many of us has get used to it. Yeah, okay. So the world has never been normal again, and it could really, really be very, very different. Everybody around the world, we have different thoughts and different ideas, and nobody can for certain know what the future will be. So today I'm going to share with you a topic, right, about business, And I want to thank each and every one of you that log online right now, because many of you could have been doing something else. Some of you could be back home with your family. Some of you could be, depending on which country you're from, out in restaurant. Some of you could be with your friends, but you choose to be here, okay? So it is my commitment and my team commitment in my Aladdin, so that we can give you values and ideas that you can use in your business and in your life. Very good. So thank you very much. And I want to kind of share with you my screen right now. Okay. Good. Okay. So welcome to the series number 5, or Magic Your Life. Magic Your Life. Now, today's topic is what business will boom due to the COVID-19. What business will boom due to the COVID-19? Now, what I'm going to share with you are some research that I've done, right, over the last couple of months. And it may apply to some city and some country. It may not apply to some cities or some country, depending on which city you come from. Some of you, if you log in from the West, that has a different concept. If you log in from Asia, there's a different concept. If you log in from Vietnam, maybe there's a different concept, because situation in every country are very different. And the only common thing is that, we have this pandemic, COVID-19 around the whole world, and the world never the same again. So I share with you some of the research that I do. If my research fit your belief, well, you can use my research. If it doesn't fit my belief, you can put it in the waste paper basket. Would that be okay? Yes? Right. Very, very good. Okay, good. Now, I want to share a topic on what business will boom due to the COVID-19. But before I go to what business will boom due to COVID-19, I want to tell you what business will collapse due to COVID-19. Okay, so and then I will come to the topic of what business will boom due to COVID-19. Good. So let's do that. Okay. Now, so magic your life by knowing what business will boom due to COVID-19. Yeah, and COVID-19 has affected many business. Today we have social distancing. We have to put on masks. There is limit of getting together, and therefore some business will be affected. Yeah, the business that will be affected is number one, the mall, right? The mall and shopping center. Today, in the past, some mall everybody can rush in when during the high season on weekend. People go there to window shop. They bring their family there to enjoy the aircon. They go shopping, window shopping, whether they really buy anything or not. They just go in for food together with friends and bring their family there, or just take a casual walk, or have a cup of coffee, or have a cup of tea. So more are always crowded with people, right? Full of activity. And especially in developing countries, Singapore, the street, Orchard Road, if you have been to Orchard Road in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi, very, very crowded, right? With lots of people. The mall are full of people, the street are full of people. But in the COVID-19, the government speculate that you cannot have gathering, yeah, and today you want to go into the mall, you got to queue up, right? In Singapore, you got to take a QR code, right? You got to scan, and that is what we call tracing. That's why it's called tracing. It takes time to go in, and the mall cannot be crowded, and hence a lot of people are scared of going to the mall, and hence a lot of malls are empty. When the malls are empty, many shops have to close. If you walk to many shops, right, many mall right now, and some mall are really like ghosts. Okay, so mall and busy shopping street are affected. As such, people begin to buy online. That's why like Amazon.com and Grab and Lazada and QQ and Taobao. Many of these online shops become very wealthy because more are being shut. Okay, so mall and shopping street are affected by COVID-19. Okay, next is restaurant and bar. So many restaurant, many bar, they have to close. Yeah, because even because of the social distancing, and because people don't want to go to the restaurant to eat. Some countries they have shut down, totally shut down, and in Australia, in Melbourne, and in some cities in Europe, some of the city restaurant has to close, right? And I think up to last week in South Korea, in Seoul, right, restaurant and bar have to close. So this is another business that been affected by COVID-19. The other is a music festival, right? Music festival, because lots of people gather together. So all the music festival, they are being cancelled because they all have lots of people there. And this month, next month in October, you got this Oktoberfest in Germany. They also have to cancel. See, okay, all this because of the music being cancelled, artists have no business, agents have no business, the worker have no business. It affect accommodation, it affect ticketing, affect even also the food. Okay, so this is the third industry that is going to be affected. The fourth industry going to be affected are the sports industry, which is a very, very big thing. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, right? And because of this pandemic, right, sporting events are being cancelled. In fact, many events like Ironman, marathon, sports, etc., they are being cancelled. And you heard that Olympic game was cancelled also, right? In Japan, it has been postponed or cancelled. The biggest sporting event in the world, the Olympic, has been cancelled. Okay. Now, then beauty event and beauty service has also been affected. Now, a lot of people, they don't want to go to the beauty place, yeah, because they don't want their face to be touched by other people, their body to be touched by other people. So a lot of them have been affected also. Gyms and fitness has also been affected because gyms have limited, they have limited member to go in, and you have to have a long queue. So a lot of it, like myself, I don't go to the gym. I exercise at home. I don't go to the gym anymore. And many of them cancel their gym membership because of the fact that they can't go into the gym. Okay. Number 7, wedding and funeral industry, right? So in the past, especially in Asia, wedding, there's a lot of people, a few hundred people, few hundred table, 200 table, 300 table, and the more wealthy people get married, they have many tables, they book a lot of tables, right? And they invite everybody to come, right? So today, in many countries, wedding, you can have only got 20 people in a wedding or 10 people in a wedding. Funeral also have limited people, So all these industry are being affected. This industry are being affected, right? So many of this wedding industry has been closed, yeah, because it is greatly affected. Okay, now cinema, museum, art gallery, so these are also being affected. Recently, just last couple of days, the cinema in the nation, it's called the Nation Group of Cinema in UK. They have to shut, right? Why they have to shut? Because the James Bond. Are you aware there's a new James Bond movie? New James Bond movie, right? It has been postponed, so cinema has to shut because there's no business, and due to social distancing and limited number of people to go. So cinema, theater, museum, art gallery, they are badly affected. They are badly affected. The other industry that is really being affected badly are the travel industry and the airline industry. Singapore airline, the business dropped by 95%. Okay, 95%. So, pilot, engineers, technicians, they are all laid off. In fact, in the past, when I was a bit younger, everybody wanted to be pilot because it's a very secure job. And especially when you work for the national airline like Singapore Airline, which is owned by the government, Singapore you cannot lose. But today, the airline has to retrench a lot of workers. And this morning, Malaysian Airline had to shut also. Malaysian Airline had to shut. A month ago, the airline that is owned by Sir Richard Branson, Virgin Airline, is under bankruptcy. Okay, so when the airline is being affected, the travel agency is being affected, hotel industry is being affected, and everybody, tour guide and restaurant, they're all being affected, right? So this industry is being affected. Okay. And the next industry being affected is the cruise, the liner, the cruise. Okay. In the past, you have many thousand people in a cruise. It's one of the destinations you go on honeymoon, etc. But now it's very affected. And the last time when we have, during the early COVID time, the Diamond Cruise Japan, 3,700 passenger, and COVID-19 was on that. And then, lots of people, it's really a bad time, right? So there's not only one time. Then the Grand Palace Cruise, 21 people tested positive, and even some people died, right? So sightseeing, tour, hotel industry, they all have to force to shut. They all have to force to shut, okay? They are all affected, right? All these industries are badly affected. Now, so these are the industry that are very badly affected. Now, let's talk about what are the industry that are on the boom. Okay, what are the industry that's on the boom? Now, due to the COVID-19, everybody got to put on mask. So mask is like almost the norm today, right? It's like wearing underwear. You don't go out without underwear. I mean, some of you do, but okay, you don't go out without underwear, right? So after COVID, mask is an essential thing, just like bra and underwear. You have it. So it is a necessity. It's a necessity. Okay, so this industry will boom, and medical supply will boom. Okay, medical supply will boom. Now, of course, today you can choose not to wear bra, like don't wear underwear, but you will be fine. Okay, government will find you. Okay, and the police will catch you. So you have to put on bra. And sorry, what did I say that one? You have to put on mask. Actually, if you don't put on underwear, nobody will know. But you don't put on mask, people will know. So it is a big industry today. Okay, it's a very big industry. Okay, so there is a lot of disposable growth for health, ventilator for hospital, because COVID-19, when you are being affected, you can't breathe, oxygen can't breathe. So ventilator, those manufacturing ventilator, face mask, disposable growth. Okay, so this business will really, this medical supply will boom. Okay, right? Now, lots of people lots of us, we talk about online business, but let me just touch on the online business, okay? That's on online business later on. Then the other business that will boom are cleaning services. cleaning services, whether in at home, in hospital, hotel, etc. Cleaning services will boom, right? So if you own a cleaning services, there is a lot of contract. You can get a lot of contract. In fact, from November to March, the demand for cleaning services actually went up a lot. Okay, actually grow, right? For commercial building, for medical facility, it all grow because the COVID virus can stay on the surface of the lift button, on the surface of maybe door handles, on the surface of table, right? So many commercial buildings, hotels, and facility, they don't have enough in-house staff. So they got contractor to do that. Yeah. So they have a lot of business, right? And also the chemical, right? The chemical to kill the virus. So the company that produce chemical to clean will also benefit from the pandemic. Or if you are supplying manpower or training, right? Training in the cleaning business, that will boom also. Yeah. So that is a second business that will that benefit from the COVID-19. So next is the drone, right? Drone. Well, in the past, drone is used for just taking photos, right? And as a toy, etc. So in the COVID-19, drone are used for many purposes, right? They are used for delivering food. Do you know that drone today used for delivering food? I actually want to just order food because I want to see the drone deliver a food for me. Yes. Yeah, drone really deliver food. So in the past, drone is used to deliver parcel, right? Let's say for a ship 1 kilometer away in the sea. So a drone can fly there and deliver the food, right? So drone today are used to deliver food so that and medical supply, to some places. In the COVID, they don't have human touch, and they also drone are also used to, this is delivering of food, right? Drone are also used to check on social distancing, like who wear masks, who don't wear masks. It can fly around. In China, the drone fly around, and find those people who never wear their mask. Okay, and and check on the regulation and enforcement of people who did not comply to the rule. So, for example, when China has this COVID-19, actually the drone actually flying around, not just deliver food, not just deliver medicine, but also spray chemical, right, to kill the virus. So drone business will grow. And if you are in the drone business, or if you are training the people how to use the drone, that business will also be in demand. Okay, that business will also be in demand. Business that support the drone industry will also be in demand. Okay, next time we have, of course, food, right? Food. Now you'll be very surprised that what is in demand, not just food, liquor. Yes, the first thing when there's a lockdown, everybody go buy. Of course, everybody go buy toilet paper, buy instant noodle, etc. After they buy all this, do you know they queue up to buy what or not? What in the store will disappear? All the liquor, all the beer, because when they get locked down, guess what? They drink liquor at home. They drink beer at home. So grocery store that sell liquor, sell wine, okay, sell whiskey. They can have lots of business. Okay, they have lots of people just buy all the liquor, right? If you go to a grocery store, all the liquor will be gone. All the liquor will be gone. Okay, you find this sign here. Sorry, we are closed. Okay, liquor is finished. Okay, so fourth business that will grow are liquor business. The fifth business is that will boom are drive-in theater. Yes, you have a car, you don't go and sit in the chair on a seat in a cinema, but you sit inside your car. Yes, the old-fashioned way. I know some of you, you ever drive your girlfriend into a drive-in movie? Yeah, in the past you drive-in movie, maybe not the best thing, but today drive-in movie is an in thing, okay? Because nobody want to go to the theater. They all drive to a drive-in movie. See, it's very, very crowded. Okay, and it's safe, it's crowded. So this is one business that will be booming, right? Now the other the business that will be booming is if you are providing delivery service. Of course, you got Amazon, you got Lazada, you got so many, right? But if you are a contractor to deliver the goods, right? Or you start a business to help to deliver goods in this pandemic, the demand go up. You look at the statistic, yeah, actually the business grow by 500%. The business grow by 500% because a lot of people buy online, but when they buy online, they need to be delivered to you. So many of these online stores will hire delivery contractor, right? Like say for example, Amazon announced that they are hiring 100,000 people because of the growth of their business. And out of the 100,000 people, many of them are delivery. So number 6 business. Number 7 business that will boom is the game. Yes, when people are locked up at home, right? What do? They and their children, they play board game, they play chess, they make puzzle. So many of these, during the pandemic, it was found that the game business go up and the puzzle go up. Things that are used at home, business go up. In fact, Robert Kiyosaki was saying that his board game, right? His board game, the cash flow game for kids, actually sell, out of stock because everybody buy games to play at home. Okay, Monopoly, etc. There's one game that actually really, really go out of stock. The game is called Pandemic. Now, this game was pre-COVID already got this game, but nobody knows. So when we have COVID, the game called Pandemic, so it's so out. The game called Pandemic sell out. The number 8 business that will boom, that has boomed in the COVID, is the fitness equipment company. Right? Just now I say that you can't go to the gym, right? So what do the people do? People buy equipment back home. Yeah, people buy equipment back home. Okay, so they buy back home and they exercise in the house. And the business that the product that sell the most, most probably made in Vietnam. Okay, that product is the yoga mat. Yoga mat is going out of stock. Crazy, everybody go and buy yoga mat. Okay, and dumbbell. Okay? So you can't go to a gym, they buy dumbbell. So these 2 products actually went out of stock. Okay, now the 9 business that will boom, of course, is the video conferencing and also document handling. Now Zoom, the business have a huge multiple, right? Many people now use Zoom. In the past, when you talk about Zoom, people say, what's the Zoom? Zoom, what's Zoom? Nobody knows what's Zoom, but today everybody knows what. Even my 3-year-old grandson also know. Grandpa, are you on Zoom? Because last time you talk about Zoom, they thought it's Zoo, but it's not Zoo, it's Zoom. Okay, so the online video conferencing, document handling. People don't go to the office and sign. They all sign on their phone, on their computer, on their iPad. So document handling business boom also, right? So the next business that is booming, are the online gaming. Okay, yeah, really online gaming. The casino online booming, and people when they are at home, they watch Netflix, they watch YouTube, and then they got excited, they got bored, and they go online and they have online gaming. So online casino actually go up. Now the other one, that business that go out is the porno business. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, right? Don't pretend, Some of you are the customer, So they're locked up in the house. What do? They all go to the porno site. It's called, but another word is called personal adult entertainment. Okay, this business actually go up. I don't have to emphasize more because some of you are the customer. Okay, so this business also go up. All right. Okay, so next one, of course, is the toilet paper, soap, and hand sanitizer. I don't know why, but everybody think that you lock up, you need more toilet paper because you shit a lot more. But I don't think you shit a lot more. It's just you should just worry that other people buy, then you have no toilet paper to shit, so everybody can buy toilet paper. So whether there's pandemic, no pandemic, you still shit the same amount of shit. So no need to buy too many toilet paper. Okay. So toilet paper go out, soap also go out, and hand sanitizer. I can understand hand sanitizer because in the pre-COVID time, many of us don't use hand sanitizer, but today you have to use hand sanitizer. So this go up, right? Toilet paper, soap, and hand sanitizer go up, right? So there's a lot of demand for this. Yeah. So number 12 is the remote doctor service. Yes, this business actually, this service actually, the demand actually increased by 500%. In fact, there's a lot of startup that start this thing. I don't know which country you are in, which city you are in. Maybe this is a great opportunity, right? Okay, so recently there's one startup that provide this service, and many millions of dollars people invest in this business, remote doctor, which means to say that you don't actually go to see a clinic anymore. You don't go to the hospital for minor. If you feel uncomfortable, you just have a remote doctor that will talk to you. They will talk to you and consult. You can consult the doctor of how you feel unwell, whether you have headache, whether you have stomach ache, whether you can't shit, okay? And the doctor can advise you, right? So and also the doctor is happy. Doctor don't want to see, sick people all the time, right? So doctor are also happy, and and you can actually see a doctor online. So this business actually gone up, right? And it is more convenient. It's more convenient, and also no travel. You don't have to hang around with sick people, etc. But for minor illness, so next business that actually in a boom is a telecommunication business, right? So telecommunication business boom, well, because more people are using the phone, we don't see each other face to face, and you buy a lot of data because you want to talk to your friends, etc. So there's a lot of data, right? So telecommunication business is in the boom. Okay, so then the next one is online classes. Okay, number 14, online classes, right? So there are more tuition classes. In the past, you send your children to a tuition teacher. Now your children have tuition at home. Yeah, teachers teach your children at home. So tuition class, language class, music class. So, everything can be done online today, right? Cooking class, etc. Cooking class, etc. Right? So these are the business that is booming. Now, another business that is good, that is excellent during the pandemic is, of course, my Aladdin. My Aladdin is a perfect business that can boom during this pandemic. Why? Okay, number one, during the COVID-19, many businesses don't have customer, lack of customer. But the My Aladdin model is to bring the customer to the merchant, yes, and help the merchant and also help the customer. Number two, due to the pandemic, expansion of e-commerce. Everything is online, and all the business must go online. And My Aladdin business model support e-commerce. Okay, support e-commerce. Number three is today, because of the pandemic, everybody worry about virus. Nobody want to touch money, right? Because you don't know the money. somebody cough on the money or somebody sneeze on your money, whether this money pass from somebody who caught the COVID-19, you never know. So everybody want to be cashless. So with our model, with the MyAlin model, you can transfer your gems and make transaction. There is no money involved. Number 4, everybody work from home. Okay, everybody work from home. The My Aladdin business can also work from home. Yeah. Number 5 is good for everyone, merchant as well as My Aladdin member, because My Aladdin provide a lot of training. So you can learn from home, not only yourself and with your family. Now, we have a saying that says that family that learn together succeed together. Family that learn together succeed together. Family that learn together succeed together. So, I have shared with you the business that will fall out in the pandemic and business that will boom in the pandemic, right? In this pandemic. Okay, so what now? What's now? Now, many business are closed. I tell you, they closed not because of the pandemic. They closed because the business owner give up. Okay, so what's now? We have this pandemic. Some business will boom, some business will close. But what's now? What's now? What's the thing to do now? Many business will close. Maybe some of it is due to pandemic, but many business close, not just because of the pandemic, but because of the business owner. The business owner gave up. Okay, the business owner gave up. Last week I mentioned this, and just today Ken mentioned this, that the rich understand that the world is changing, right? The world is changing. Now, long time ago, many of you might have heard about this, survival of the fittest, survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest is wrong. Today, if you talk about survival of the fittest, then the dinosaur, which is the strongest animal, right, in the historic time until today, would have been survived because they are the biggest animal. But where are the dinosaurs? The dinosaurs all die already. So it's not the survival of the fittest. The rich understand that the world is changing, and we have to be flexible and adopt to the environment. We have to adopt to the environment. The poor are always looking at the past, right? The poor are always looking at the past. Yes, we have this pandemic. So what do we do? What do we do? You have two choices. Number 1, you can choose to live in fear. Yeah, we have this pandemic. We are going to die. I cannot go out. I cannot go anywhere. I cannot do anything. No customer. Social distancing. We cannot travel. We are going to die. So you can either choose to live in fear, or you can choose to live in faith. You can choose to live in fear, or you can choose to live in faith. I'll tell you this, one of my favorite airline is a Singapore airline. I've been traveling Singapore airline. They have the best service, best everything. Okay. And also, it's from Singapore, right? I'm a Singaporean, so I love this airline. Good company. In the pandemic, they had 95% of their business drop. 95%. And they have to lay off some of the staff, etc. But the company, Singapore Airlines, never give up, okay? You know what Singapore Airlines do? Singapore Airlines, why is Singapore Airlines famous? For their service, for their food, for the very nice plane, right? So Singapore Airlines, went into food business. Yes, you heard me right. He went to the food business. So today in Singapore, you can order food for Singapore Airlines. Yeah, because they have the best cook, they have the best product, they have the best menu, best everything. So Singapore Airlines actually went to the food business. And Singapore Airlines, you can buy things in the plane, right? You get in the shop, right? So they have lots of cookery, nice cookery. So today, if you order food, they use the cookery, and they sell the product. And you know where you can, where's the place to eat? Singapore Airlines don't have a restaurant. They have plane. Okay, so they open the plane as a restaurant. So you go in the plane, sit on the seat, and they serve you food. Yes. So the thing here is this: many people close shop, many business owners close shop because of fear, because they give up, and because they lay blame. They blame the government, blame the COVID-19, give excuse, tell story, guess, and then they give up. I tell you this: today, COVID-19 is, this pandemic is not new. Many hundreds of years ago, there was a pandemic bigger than this pandemic. Many million people die, and then there's another pandemic, and then there is this Black Friday pandemic, and then we have the First World War, we have the Second World War, we have so many wars. We have the SARS pandemic, we have the financial crisis. We have so many disasters around the world. What happened? What happened then? We all go to normal again. We all go to normal again. So either you can live in fear or you can live in faith. You can live in fear or you can live in faith, and you can give a lot of excuse. But I tell you this: excuse don't get results. Excuse don't get results. You can give a lot of excuse, but excuse don't get results. The rich and the wealthy believe they are responsible for their own fate. Abraham Lincoln said this: the best way to predict your future is to create your future. The best way to predict your future is to create your future. Okay, you have to choose to live by faith, not by fear. You got to choose to. You can choose to live by faith or by fear, but choose to live by faith. Okay, don't be the loser. Like Robert always do this: loser, right? Loser. Loser are the poor that lay blame, give excuse, tell story, and justify. Now, why do I come to share this topic? I share this topic not because I want to tell you, oh, there are many business that boom, many business that fail. No. Even before the pandemic, there are many business that boom. There are also many business that fail. Except that in pandemic, the business that boom and the business that fail may be different. Before the pandemic, yeah, many business fail. Property business fail. Training business fail. But also property business boom. Training business boom. So whether pandemic or no pandemic, yes, there will be business that fail. There will be business that boom. Yeah. But what I want to tell you is that we cannot control the pandemic, but we can control our spirit and our faith and our courage. Okay? In the pandemic, there are opportunity, okay, to buy good property cheap. I don't know, maybe not now. You wait for next year. Next year, when the people cannot pay the bank, those people who are loser, give up, right? They don't fight for it. They can't pay the bank because they don't make any money, because they are loser. They don't make any money. Yeah. So they can't pay the bank. They were going to sell their property cheap. That's where you come in and pick up the property during the pandemic. You can buy good stock cheap also. The airline, right? Singapore Airlines is a wonderful airline. Delta Airline. All these airlines, during the good time, the price are $20, $30. Today, only $5. Do you think Singapore Airlines will shut down? No! Singapore Airlines will not shut down. Why? Because we still got to travel. I mean, I can't swim. Can you imagine I swim to Hanoi? I don't know, Hanoi, can't reach Hanoi. But you mean I swim to Vietnam? I walk to Vietnam? I ride bicycle to Vietnam? I drive to Vietnam? No! I cannot drive by car from Singapore to Vietnam. I got to fly. I got to fly to Vietnam. So the airline will not disappear. But that's a good company. But well, now the stock is really cheap, Yeah, it will go down some more. So, like Delta Airline. How are you going to America? Yeah, you got to fly there. What? Can you swim to America? You can't. So they will never die. They will still be around. Only the people that scared and fear, and all kind of thing, they will close shop. But if they stand firm, the airline will still be there. Restaurant will still be there. Okay? So it is a good time to buy stock cheap. You can also buy good business cheap. Some business, they have good business, but the business owner chicken out, they let go. You can buy it's cheap. And you can also hire good people. Some company, they retrench the staff, they got good engineer, they got good manager, good salespeople, but because the boss chicken out and let the staff go, you can hire them. So it is a good opportunity, right? So don't chicken out. And I mentioned this last week, and Ken mentioned again, the hard thing to do and the right thing to do are usually the same thing. Okay, what do I mean? You have to stand firm. Okay, you have to stand firm. I want to tell you a story, right? I want to tell you this story. Okay, this is a real story in the World Cup. In the World Cup about 8 years ago, the French were winning. They're all winning. They were very, very strong French team versus the South African team, right? And the French were leading on the first half. They were strong, and the game is being played in Europe, which is suit their body, suit their environment, suit their culture. They have a lot of supporters there. Africa, people look down on the African, etc. But they were playing. Yeah, they were playing. And the French were winning. And then the French captain got sent out because of penalty. And suddenly, fear came into the French player. And the South African team, they suddenly stepped up. They stepped up their spirit, right? And they fought. They grab the ball. They fight for the ball. They fight for every inch. They fight for every inch. Fight for every inch. They will not let go. They sweat, whether blood or tears. They fight for the ball. At the end of it, the South African win. Now, the French have all the advantage, all the skill. Why do they lose? Why did they lose in the home ground? They lose because they lost their spirit. They lost their fighting spirit. And the South African team win because of their spirit. So in this pandemic here, your spirit must not die. The French lost because their spirit died. Okay? Their spirit died. Many business closed. Not just because of the pandemic. Yes, maybe part of it. Many business closed because the owner, the leader, the CEO, their spirit died. That's why they also die. Okay? Their spirit died because all the excuse they give themselves they give themselves excuse. All the excuse. So I want to end by asking you to be stronger than your excuse. I want to ask you to be stronger than your excuse. Magic your life by being stronger than your excuse. If you are stronger than excuse, if your spirit become alive, you have magic in your life. So this is Richard Tan on behalf of all the staff and team in Success Resources. I want to wish you well, health, happiness, joy in your life. Be strong, okay? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Richard. Just a reminder, this is something that we have every week. You need to be stronger than your excuses. And you can join us for Magic Your Life each week here at the same time. Next week's session will be on Thursday, the 15th of October. You can join us and hear from Richard Tan again in some powerful lessons and wisdom that will help to add spark to your life and magic your life. We also have again coming up on 7th of November, Nick Vujicic. Nick Vujicic is a man who was born with no arms and no legs, but he has no limitations. And you'll learn how to overcome your own limitations. If he can do anything with his own existing condition, then no matter what excuse you might have, you can also do it as well. So you can be stronger than your excuses, just like Nick Vujicic. That will be coming on November 7th, and you can register for that in the e-Bazaar. We also have coming up Unleash the Power Within Virtual. This is the #1 personal development coach sharing online his normal live program. But because of the COVID situation, some businesses need to change. And so he's doing a virtual event. This is a powerful opportunity for you to experience Unleash the Power Within from your own home. It will be on October 22nd through the 26th, and you can actually book those tickets in the mobile app underneath the e-Bazaar. Finally, remember Date with Destiny with Tony Robbins. This will be coming up in December. This will be the first time it's a virtual event. It's a 6-day morning to night live program. But because of the COVID-19 situation, you can enjoy it from your own home. You don't have to worry about travel. You don't have to worry about hotel. You don't even have to worry about COVID-19. You can join Date with Destiny from their own home and learn how to create passionate relationships, how to find purpose, and how to reshape your life. That's also available in the e-Bazaar. Thank you everyone for joining us for this program. We will see you next week. Thanks to all the people. What? Oh yeah. So we also have Date with Destiny coming. So those are coming programs that you can register for in the e-Bazaar. Also, we have a very new feature in the e-Bazaar. You can see some of our premium merchants who are available, so you can find out about their find out about their products and their services that are also now available in the e-Bazaar. So that's something that is a recent addition as we continue to expand My Aladdin and make it the best mobile app for e-commerce, especially during this time in history. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. I know we have many people from many different countries. We even have multiple languages tonight. So thank you for joining us. We pray that you have a good night. We wish you health, wealth, and prosperity. Good night, everyone.